What's up, pumpkins? Welcome to tonight's Starlink launch, 60th mission. Good stuff. SpaceX just started their live stream that you're seeing right here. We'll make a big screen here in a second. We're at T-minus 5 minutes and change. So let's go ahead. You know the drill. Muster up. Where you from? What you munching on this evening? It should be evening for most of you guys, or night. Kevin coming to you from Ohio, drinking out my eccentric mug. Just the boring stuff. Carbonated flavored water or sparkling water if you're fancy and you like that them fancy words. I debated throwing some like 5-hour energy or something in here because I'm exhausted for some reason tonight. I think it's because I was outside doing yard work again, but also I kind of ate like crap today and my body is fighting me this evening. But we're gonna stick it out for this short Starlink launch. We'll talk about the mission here in a minute. First person I see is the loyal and faithful Old Man Gib checking in. What is this? I've never seen this before. Gifted 5 space eccentric memberships. I don't even know what that means, but thank you. Are you gifting those to me? I don't know what that is. So apparently Old Man Gib is just handing shit out for free. High five. All right. Thank you, Old Man Gib. Paul the Lionheart here from the Oz, Australia.
Austria? Well then, good day, mate.
Good day, Master Chief Paul the Lionheart. Locals members, I do have the locals chat open. We got Fox Pup is back, throwing up some cute pictures in the locals chat. That's nice. Paul Angel, good to see you again. Megatooth Sith. Megtooth. I'm just gonna call you Megatooth Sith. I know it's Megtooth. Keith Mabe. Beer Launch 30. What's up, Arm? And Indy in Colorado. Good to see you guys over there. Justin DeLong, thanks for modding. Austin McMurtray is also in the YouTube live chat. Must have 2 keyboards going at the same time. Scrolling down. We got North Carolina. We have Texas. Where's my Texas sound clip? There it is.
I pulled him out of a place on Midgard called Texas.
Northern California. Orange County, I've been there. A lot of Californians here. Guess it's only 7 p.m. where you guys are at. London, we have London.
You sound like you're from London.
Denmark, Tennessee, Oregon, peace. Thank you guys for tuning in from across the pond or across the cornfields or wherever it is you're from. Let me go big screen really quick. We'll turn the volume up here in a minute. So let's talk briefly about this mission. Pull it up here. All right, so we have 51 Starlink satellites on this one, as well as Spaceflight Industries Sherpa-LTC, an orbital transfer vehicle to low Earth orbit. So something sort of new, I guess. They're just using it as like a test bed for future missions for a different kind of constellation. This booster, this is, I believe, the 7th flight for this booster. And this booster started out originally as a Falcon Heavy booster for a couple flights. Arabsat 6A and Turksat, I think. And they converted it to a Falcon 9 first stage. So cool. It's going to land on just read the instructions. So we may not have the best feed with the landing tonight. You never know. You never know. The lawyer wife's not going to join us, so it will probably be immaculate. Obviously, launching from Slick 40, you can always tell because you got the 4 lightning rod towers and no, even more importantly, no big crew tower. So that is a clue. We're coming up on T-minus 1 minute, so I'm going to turn the volume up ever so slightly. Smoking's bad for you, okay, but it's good for rockets.
Falcon 9 is in startup.
That was kind of like a weird Mr. Mackey with an English accent.
That means that the flight computers have now taken over the launch countdown, and we are now just waiting for the launch director's final call.
Yeah, how about that Artemis, huh?
This is
a
Starlink 420. Go for launch.
This is an intentional leak.
Great
It's
news. All systems
venting,
are go for
technically.
Falcon 9's liftoff today.
Artemis SLS was doing a different kind of venting, an unintentional venting, also known as a leak. I love the joke someone tweeted at me the other day. They were like, which has more leaks, SLS or the FBI?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 1.
Get some, rocket. Lick them clouds, if they even exist tonight, which I don't think they do.
Vehicles pitching downrange. Stage 1 propulsion is nominal.
Hey, Eric Beavers, Admiral Eric Beavers. Thanks for joining us, dude. Eric Whitting, see ya. Rolling through Illinois tonight, plural.
You are watching Falcon 9 accelerate Spaceflight's Sherpa-LTC 2 and our Starlink satellites out into space.
Falcon 9 is supersonic.
Looks like a gold
And great
lightsaber.
call out so far. Supersonic means that the vehicle is traveling faster than the speed of sound.
Max-Q.
And we have now passed through Max-Q, or the maximum dynamic pressure that the vehicle will see on ascent.
Jessie always has these late night streams, doesn't she? She's a night owl.
Now we're just about a minute away from several events happening back to back. That is main engine cutoff, or MECO, stage separation, and SES-1, or second stage.
Engine chill has started.
Second stage engine start 1, and that will be followed shortly by the fairing deploy. Again, that is MECO stage separation and SES-1, followed by fairing deploy, coming up in just about 20 seconds or so from now. MECO is where all 9 of the M1D engines that you're seeing on your screen shut down in preparation for stage separation. Once the vehicles separate, the first stage will make its way to attempt to land on Just Read the Instructions tonight, as the second stage continues on its journey with SES-1 igniting the second stage engine.
Looking
Engine
inside
cutoff.
the inner stage right now, up the
Stage
bell
separation.
of the Merlin vacuum engine. Now the stages has separated, and we're lighting up the second stage
back
Merlin
ignition.
vacuum engine. Watch for the ring on the right hand side. There it
There we
goes.
heard MECO. We saw stage separation on your right hand screen. You could see the MVAC engine igniting on the second stage. On your left hand screen is a view of the first stage as the grid fins begin to deploy.
Those grid fins are about the size of a compact car on the left-hand side there. On the right-hand side, there go the fairing halves, worth $3 million for
And
each
there you
half.
can see on your right-hand screen that the fairing has deployed. Today marks the 4th flight for one fairing half and the 5th flight for the other fairing half. And we will attempt to recover the fairing halves again to reuse them on a future launch.
Using chutes,
Both vehicles are following
braet, I
trajectories.
guess.
And always great callouts. Both first and second stage are following nominal trajectories.
Joe saw it from Miami. Nice. They are
And
not
today's
boosting
mission
back
marks
to the coast.
SpaceX's 178th overall launch. This particular first stage supported Arabsat 6A, STP-2, Cosmos SkyMed second generation FM2, KPLO, and 2 Starlink missions.
Yes, this is the 7th mission then. It's not boosting back to the coast, but it is going to boost.
And what you're seeing on your screen is a view on the second stage looking at our MVAC engine. So far on a nominal trajectory.
Just read the instructions, drone ship.
And again,
That's
is
waiting
carrying
for
our
it.
Starlink satellites as well as the Sherpa-LTC-2 payload.
We know. Thank you. I'm going to turn my ceiling fan on because it's getting quite toasty in here. And I didn't flip the switch
As a
on the
reminder,
wall.
Starlink is
so
a
I'm just gonna
satellite
sweat.
internet constellation designed and manufactured
Both
by
vehicles continue to follow nominal trajectories.
Designed and manufactured by SpaceX to provide high-speed, low-latency internet to people living in remote and rural locations around the globe.
Nothing wrong with a little self-promotion.
And we're just under a minute from now from the entry burn beginning on the first stage. Now, the first stage is making its way back down to Earth, and it requires a couple burns in order to do so.
I'm going to talk about that here in a second. This is the glowing pumpkin. Do you think for Halloween, since Halloween's coming up here in a little over we'll just call it 2 months, little under 2 months, they will carve a little smiley face in it? I think they should. It might not be good for the rocket, but it'll be good for viewing. So yeah, she was just going to talk about a couple of burns that the first stage is going to begin on the left-hand side of your screen now. First is reentry burn, but they're going to light up a couple of those, a few of those sea level Merlin engines to slow it down as it re-enters the atmosphere, so it doesn't slam into it and like break, go kaput. So that's what you're seeing right now. You may also see from time to time, even though it's entering the atmosphere, it will use these grid fins more to steer toward the drone ship, but you might see some poofers maybe still of the RCS system. You'll definitely see some sparkage coming off those grid fins. Yep, we're getting a little bit. There we go. Now it's falling into the thicker parts. There'll be more friction, but then since it's not using Starlink for the connection, we might not get to see any more of that until it gets closer to the drone ship, and even then it will probably be choppy. And then the next burn will be a single sea level Merlin engine for the landing burn, and then it'll deploy its 4 landing legs, and if all goes according to plan, it will land on the drone ship bullseye. They haven't had a miss in years. Kevin just jinxed it. No, he didn't. There, I just knocked on wood. Please don't bark. Thank you, bub. All right, we're gonna turn the volume up. Meow. Don't get scared. Don't be scared. Get secured.
You may have heard that call out that stage 1 is transonic. That means that it is traveling near the speed of sound. The landing burn should be starting up here shortly.
Stage 1 landing burn.
There you can see on your screen the landing burn has begun for Falcon 9.
Watching them grid fins work.
Landing leg deploy.
Hey, like I said, lawyer wife's not here. We have a stable
Really
connection.
Awesome views of the first stage landing. This marks the 140th
Please
overall
clap.
landing of an orbital class rocket and the 40th launch and landing of 2022.
Bullseye.
MVAC shut down.
We heard that call out for MVAC shutdown or SECO 1. That is second engine cutoff 1. Just waiting
Nominal
for.
orbit insertion.
That's
This one's
exactly
going
what we
to
were
the
waiting
4th
for.
shell, by the way.
Confirmation of good orbit. Now, as a reminder, in addition to our 51 Starlinks On board, we have a passenger on board as well, Sherpa-LTC 2 for our customer spaceflight. The second stage will start and shut down one more time around T plus 45 minutes before we deploy the rideshare payload. Now, until then, we're going to enter a coast phase.
Wow.
So sit back and enjoy the views and space jams.
They're actually going to show the entire thing because they have that hitchhiker on board. Keep the poop deck cam and show the octograbber, bra. That's proprietary technology. You can't show that. Wrong button. We already heard the London thing. Let's go small. There we go. So if you guys want to continue watching all the way to deployment, check out the link in the description below. Look, UFO is following it. Right there. See the UFO? Link in the description so you can continue watching it. I'm going to be cutting this off pretty soon. But before we go, let's go ahead and talk about what shows you guys are watching right now, because the lawyer wife and I need some ideas. We're about finished with this season's What We Do in the Shadows, and we're going to need a new show to watch. We already watched The Terminal List on Amazon Prime, which was pretty good. We're interested in Yellowstone, but we don't have Apple TV. I'd have to resubscribe for that. So throw out any ideas you guys have. I heard Game of Thrones is woke and stupid. Heard the same thing about The Lord of the Rings on Amazon Prime. So I'm not, I don't know. Just let me know what you guys think about any kind of show that you find really good right now. Sweets is good. Never heard of it. Oh, there's House of Dragons. Supernatural. Samaritan. I've heard of Samaritan. The Old Man. I heard that was good. Yeah, I might have to check that one out. Lock and Key. I haven't heard of that one. Rick and Morty starts today. I've only actually watched like 1 or 2 episodes of that because Elon back in the day was tweeting a lot about it and I never watched it, so I was like, I'll give it a try, because I was borrowing my brother's HBO account login stuff, so I thought it was pretty funny, but I just never had time to get back into it. Grey's Anatomy is not my thing. Oh, I'm all about the classic Looney Tunes, man. Love me some Looney Tunes. I still have some DVDs of some Looney Tunes episodes. Watch the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Man, I actually tried that maybe like 4 or 5 months ago because I have them on DVD, not even Blu-ray, just on DVD, like the pack of 3 of the original 90s movies, because I love those as a kid. But I got like 10 minutes into it, I was like, this is corny as hell, man. I hate growing up, but dude, it crushes my dreams. The new Beavis and Butthead. We weren't allowed to watch MTV growing up, but it was on channel 36, and when the parents weren't home, we'd always like sneak on there and try to watch. I think it was Ren and Stimpy on MTV. Now I think that was on Nickelodeon, but we weren't allowed to watch that either. But we would always like sneak over and watch those kind of things. But the lawyer wife and I did see like a preview of the new Beavis and Butthead Does the Universe or whatever. We saw like clips of it on social media about the part where they're told they have white privilege, so they're going around and like doing whatever they want because they learn they have this white privilege, so they like steal cop cars. We thought that was pretty funny, so we gave the movie a try, and we weren't that all impressed with the movie, but that was a pretty funny scene. Lost in Space. I didn't hear very good things about that one. Prison Break. Haven't watched that one, but I've heard of it. There was this old school show called Breakout, and it was like it was just a documentary kind of series, and each episode covered how it was based on true stories, how an inmate would escape from prison. And I always thought it was fascinating how creative these inmates could get to find their way out of their jail cell and escape prison. So maybe I would like that Prison Break show. Fun fact, I interned my early years of college, I interned in the county jail because I had to do so many hours, because I was doing like both my first police academy. It was an open academy, an open Ohio academy. I was doing that simultaneously with college, with my undergrad at first. So we had to do ride-alongs and 20 hours interning in the jail. And it was kind of funny because like when I was interning in the county jail, and the county jail was in my hometown, Salina, Ohio. And so when I was interning there, I saw a couple of guys I graduated high school with who were inmates, because they were like pieces of shit in high school too, doing drugs and stuff. So I was like, hey, good to see you. How's life going? How's life treating you? And they're like, fuck you, dude. They're behind bars. Here I am wearing my fancy college academy polo thing. Oh my gosh. Good times. Better Call Saul. Yeah. So believe it or not, the lawyer wife and I started watching that when season 1 began, because I love Breaking Bad. She just watched it from time to time when I was watching it, but I probably watched Breaking Bad like 3 times through. That was a great show. And so when Better Call Saul started, I was like, Carrie, you need to watch this with me because you're a lawyer. She's such a dedicated lawyer. She loves watching law stuff in her free time. When the few free moments she gets when she's not doing lawyer stuff, she likes watching legal stuff like murder mysteries and crime things. And she'll even just on YouTube watch, interrogation room footage of certain cases. She's hardcore. So I'm like, you'll love watching this with me, Carrie. Let's watch Better Call Saul. So we watched the first, I think they just did the 5th season, right? We watched the first 3 seasons together, 2 or 3 seasons. Then she just kind of dropped out. I had to watch the 3rd and 4th season or 4th season by myself. And I got like 1 episode into the last season. I think that's the last season I'm on. And I heard it's not like a great series ending, but I still want to watch it all the way through. I'm at this point, I might as well go all the way, right? But it's not like a bad show. I'm curious to see how they end up connecting it with that black and white footage that they show at the beginning of every episode. I'm like wondering where that's going. I still need to finish Black Sails. I've been like watching Black Sails for over a year now, and I'm in the last season. I'm halfway through the last season. I don't have a few more episodes to go, and I just can't bring myself to finish it. What does the lawyer wife think about She-Hulk? She thinks it's freaking sad. Everything about that movie is stupid. There was a meme going around about it. I don't know much about it, but there was a meme going around about how in the movie there's a scene where she's getting angry. Ironically, she's getting angry with the Hulk, Bruce Banner, because he's like, you have to learn to control your anger or whatever. And she's like, I learned to control my anger just from being a woman and guys, whistling at me. I'm like, this is so stupid. The Hulk has seen like mass genocide. He's tried to kill himself by putting a gun in his mouth and pulling the trigger. And like she says she is way better at controlling her anger than him. It's like, this is so woke and retarded. Why are things so stupid these days? And Disney Plus, we don't have Disney Plus, but I hear it's getting ridiculous with their shows. Like they're doing like drag queen shows now and stuff, like freaking groomers, man. Perverts. Black Sails finished poorly. Well, I figured Black Sails wouldn't have like a happy ending because all the pirates are dead, or maybe that is a happy ending. There are no more cool pirates anymore, at least. Golden Age piracy is over. So I figured it probably wouldn't be that great of an ending. The Last Kingdom. As that guy that kind of looks like... whenever I see a poster of The Last Kingdom, I always for a second think it's the guy who played in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies with Johnny Depp. What was his name in the original ones? He's like married to Katy Perry now. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I always see that poster. I'm like, oh, it's him. He's in that. This might be okay, but I don't think it is him. I don't know. Orlando Bloom, is that his name? Band of Brothers. Yeah, I've seen Band of Brothers at least 5 times. That's a great series. The Pacific's not bad either. I mean, but Band of Brothers is really good. I remember watching that for the first time with my dad back when my dad was still alive. I think I might have been in high school still, because I think that came out in 2001. I graduated in 2004, so I think it was like a sophomore, junior, and one of my dad's workmates had, like, he had bought in the whole series on VHS. It was a VHS set, because those were the good old days of before VHS was completely phased out and DVD took over. And so my dad borrowed that from him, and we watched it together. That was pretty cool. Those were the good old days back when Whose Line Is It Anyway was on TV, and my dad and I would always watch that before I go to bed. Yeah, Orlando Bloom's not in that show, right? Whatever it was called that we were just talking about. Yeah, is there a new Star Trek like series going on now? I never watched Star Trek. I watched the Star Trek movies, the ones with Chris Pine. I watched those. Those were pretty good, but I never watched the shows, even the classics. So I'm not going to watch this one because I already know that failed Alabama governor, you know, the big fat one. She was in that, and like, I'm not gonna pay to stare at her. Keep seeing the old man. Yes, Stanky Abrams, Stacey Abrams, Stanky Abrams. Yeah, like I guess they have all these celebrity guest appearances in the new Star Trek series, and yeah, it definitely looks like it should fit into this stupid generation we're living through right now. Look at the Earth. It's beautiful. Ooh, look at that. Little space debris flying by there. Squid Games. We did watch that. That was a while ago. Like 6 months ago at least we watched that. That was pretty good. We kind of liked that one. Trying to think what else I've watched lately. Yeah. We've been watching some alien documentaries. I'm not like a believer in aliens. I'm a healthy skeptic of aliens, but we've been watching some alien documentaries lately because the lawyer wife is all into that, and it's always interesting to see what people believe and why. Hi, buddy. You ready for bed? Say, I am in bed. I'm passed out. Well, I'm going to call this one, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Strange New Worlds. All right, Keith, I'll have to check that one out. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you later in the week for SpaceX in the news. Maybe an Artemis launch, but I doubt it. We'll see. They'll probably have to end up rolling that back to the VAB, huh? That whole thing, that whole situation's a mess. But are we surprised? You know, we get rid of the space shuttle, which we should, because it was a bloated mess. Sure, it was a cool vehicle, but they got rid of it because it was just too expensive, and they traded it for the SLS, which is just as expensive but non-reusable. Now, I know they're for two different purposes. Space shuttle was for orbit and Earth orbit, and SLS is for the moon, but I don't feel like we're going forwards with this. I feel like we're just taking 2 steps back, a step and a half forward. So we need just Starship. Get her done. Have a nominal work week, you guys. Don't do anything I would do. And until next time, Godspeed.